All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, Sherry.
And Facebook people.
And Facebook people. Oh, we're
Uh
live on
in-
Facebook. Here we
yes.
go.
Here we go. All right, I'm gonna share this into our group. Uh
I'm just here for the ride. I'm just kidding. So, hello. If you are on Facebook, let us know that you're here. Comment live. Where are you tuning in from? If you are catching the replay, just comment replay. Let us know that you came so we can acknowledge you. So, today we're talking, we've been having this conversation of True North offers. Your True North offer is the offer deep within your heart and your soul. Ultimately, like you have your program in you, right? It's pulling out all of your genius and your purpose and what you're here for, and how do you create that and package that together in a program that is not just going to be like a one and done, but ultimately it's going to make a deep transformation with your clients. You're able to leverage it so you can work with multiple people, and it is a sustainable long-term, like, your calling, right? This is why you're here in this world. How do you take all of this together and put it together? Being able to create offers and knowing the skill set to create offers, excuse me, will literally allow you to create wealth and create freedom and create impact. So there is a lot of people are like, oh, I need more leads. Oh, I need a bigger audience. Oh, I need more people. Well, actually, let's take a look at your offers, because chances are you don't need a huge, massive audience to do this, and you don't need like a ton of leads or all the tech or all of this stuff. When you have a really great offer and you have the skills to create a really great offer, this is how you create the freedom. This is how you create that impact. This is how you create that calling that you have deep within your soul that you know doesn't ever go away. All right. So having a True North offer matters. Um, Knowing how to create offers matters, whether you have an evergreen program, whether you have multiple different programs that you're launching at different times, whether you have a workshop, whether you're doing a masterclass, like everything that you do, you want to create an offer around that. So with that, I am going to request that
oh, here we go. More people.
we're just letting some people in, and I'm just kind of rolling and talking as we're
Yeah, I
going.
mean this is a Q&A, so it's it's really about connecting with the people. Hey Kiana, hey Sherry.
So I guess if you're on Facebook, did you put the Facebook the Zoom link in the comments?
On in the group. Let me do
Okay.
that in
So
the
if you're in Coaches for Transformation and you're on here and you're like, okay, I've seen it, I just have a couple questions, or even if you just have like a couple questions, like how can we serve you? What can we do to move you along? Like honestly, Chad and I are here to really work. Our mission in this world is to impact and empower coaches who know they have a calling in this world to be able to fulfill on that calling, to break through the strongholds, to be able to package your program, to be able to attract the people. Like, you have that calling for a reason. And our mission and our calling is to equip you so that you can go out there and be powerful, that you can you can create your vision and bring it into fruition. So just come on, Chad will drop the link down there, click on the link, come join us. How can we help you? As soon as I'm done with the line,
so
we got our CCO with us here.
I love it. So if you don't like kids, I'm not sure if this is a good fit, just saying
Yeah, we are definitely family people here.
family people. Here, I will
It's
this.
okay. You can just. All right. So everyone who
Hey
is
Jane.
popping on, if you have a question, how can we help you?
So, does anybody want to jump out with any questions? This being a Q and A, question and answer. So you ask the questions and we
We answer the answers.
yeah, you bring the questions and we give you the answers. Maybe. All right, we'll do our best. Um, awesome. And if you feel free to turn your camera on too. Um, awesome. All right. We'll just keep going until somebody has a
Sure,
question.
chat. You can either put it in the chat, or if you want to unmute and just come on out.
There might be a chat. I'm so used to the thing. Hey Sherry, yeah, I couldn't find the link anywhere, but your group invite page. Are you using AI at all? Um, you use AI way better
So
than I
we
do.
use it like I do use AI, but I don't use it for creating content. I actually, the main purpose that I use it for is I'll transcribe videos that we do just so so it gets our voice and I'll have it give me ideas. But I really use it for an idea giver, not like a create my content or write my stuff for me person.
Yeah.
Like I know there's people out there. I just personally, like if we're talking about true north, and there's nothing wrong, like the people who use AI, like if it works for you, then awesome. I find that if you're not really specific with it, it'll be super generic.
Mhm.
That's why I like using it for like how I like transcriptions and stuff. Authentically, I use it a lot more for my home
Ha!
and like my meal planning and stuff that I do around the house and have it create schedules and stuff for me more so than I do in business.
Yeah, so I'll say this. We had a client, Brett. He was a therapist and he was making about $10,000 a month in his therapy business, but he was working 40, 50 hours a week and really was like kind of like just putting in the hours to have that happen, right? And we used AI with some protocols that I think you helped us kind of put together. And we ended up creating an offer for him for a really high-end coaching program. And it was for couples. And it was ended up being $10,000. And he ended up going and selling it like 2 days after he did it. So, or after we put it together. So that was really awesome, right? 10,000. We basically replaced his monthly. Do you use it for creating a workshop or similar? Um,
I use it for ideas.
yeah, it's good for
It's
ideas.
good for ideas.
Hmm.
Again, we don't use it to like it doesn't write our workshops. Like we write our workshops. We have a formula that we follow for it. But it's definitely good. Like, hey, I'm doing a workshop. These are the people that I'm doing it for. This is how I help them. I want to
Jane, I'm gonna mute you there. Just ask or unmute if you want to come back up.
Yeah. So I won't have it right for me, but I'll just be very specific in the prompts, like, hey, I'm doing a workshop on this for these people. This is what I want to cover. Can you give me a few ideas of a good title for it or something like that? Um, but really not really for workshops, to be
Yanni,
honest.
do you want to tell us a little bit more about your business and what you do? If you want to unmute, feel free.
There's a little bit of a delay here, so all is well.
There we go. Um, because maybe we could give you some specific things to what you do instead of just yeah, because I'd love to get some more context of why you're asking the question so then we can give you like deeper answers so to maybe help you move things forward. Are you doing workshops? Um, yeah. So
So I think for workshops, if you want to use AI, then you totally can. But ultimately, it's like, what is your program? So healing, mortgage, real estate, and credit repair. Awesome. So what I would do is I would to create the workshop, it's like what can you teach and go through that is a lead in to your main offer.
yeah, so I guess if you were going to really scale one of those up, I guess what is your goal for having all these different options, these different businesses? Um, because it's very challenging to run four businesses. I mean, it's cool to have one as a, hey, if somebody can't get a mortgage, you can send them to a credit pair. But if you're like personally doing it, it's going to take away from you selling mortgages and real estate. And if healing's your main thing and that's what you really want to do, and these things are like paying the bills, to totally get that. Um,
So what I would do there, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah,
but
go
like
for it.
speaking of AI, so what I would do there in your situation is I would type in, hey, this is what I do. And you may find that doing healing work for like, I don't know if you do the mortgages or if you work with like brokers, but like your clients, if they are, or your audience, building them up into real estate and ultimately have like they can all work together, right? So AI may be able to help you
Hmm.
bridge that gap, but maybe you do healing sessions for real estate agents, and as they go through their clients and their clients are having problems with their credit, be able to slide that in there, right? So that's where AI can be helpful of how can I put this all together and umbrella this to make it work into a cohesive business.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes we're trying to balance a bunch of like hustles instead of having like actual businesses with systems that are running each other. And it's like we're kind of we're juggling like multiple things instead of really just kind of having one like thing that you're throwing up in the air and then
And catching.
catching and then throwing up in the air and
Yeah,
catching.
that could be a really cool niche for you is like healing and retreats for real estate and like people in the real estate industry.
Working with companies and the healing and credit repair, I do myself.
Well, healing and credit repair, you do yourself, and then you work with companies for real estate and the mortgage.
Yeah, okay. So I'm still curious. So did you sell mortgages? Do you sell real estate too? Like, are you doing both these or are you working in those industries? Um, just a little bit more clarity around that would be super duper. Um,
Absolutely.
the thing that came up to me is like, I know a lot of, you know, when we moved here, there was a lot of working with these industries. Oh, okay. So you do healing for mortgage and real estate and then credit repair with them. Is that I'm just wanting clarity around that because that's interesting. So Holly went through this house with a fine-tooth spiritual comb. And like there was a lot of like crap. There was a lot of like stuff in the house that was
We had to clear that out.
yeah, there was a lot of clearing to do. So there's a lot of people that like, hey, they won't buy a house because it's, has entities or has you know, ghosts. I don't know if that's something that you do for house
Every
clearings. Yeah.
different type thing.
Healing and credit repair. I have my own company. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really interesting.
But you
Just
may see like
working those together.
knowing your audience,
Mhm.
right, and being able to speak directly to your audience. Um, I would use AI to see how can you create that in a way that is cohesive together. So as you're sharing your message, people know you as the credit repair person, but also there's something underneath of why people have bad credit and what's happened in their past and being able to heal their past and heal the
Healing.
different traumas that have happened that have caused the not being able to pay or the poverty or whatever it is that they're going through. So you may want to go on like that could be an angle for you. You have to like this is where you package your genius and you make it unique, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure there's not a lot of people that take on credit repair, and that could be your unique selling proposition of what makes you different than every other credit repair business. Well, you know the inner workings of the person and you work to repair not just their credit, but so that they don't fall into those patterns again. So 12 a.m. here. Wow, thank you so much for showing up.
Betrayal and breakup separation divorce coach and mentor. Currently focusing on one of my clients. Would like to know how to increase my online market to generate a decent number of interest services. Awesome. Curious what's your price point? And welcome, Jessica Lynn. I'm curious on like what your price point is. How have you gotten clients in the past? Um, how long's your program? How long do you work with clients on a one-on-one basis? We have another client that works in kind of a similar space, but he works with men. So um, that's interesting. Um, so yeah, let us know on that. And then Jessica, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
And so what I would say, so focusing on one-on-one clients and you want to increase your online market to generate a decent number of interest in your service. So really, and I know
Actually, let's do pull out the model really quick, just so there's some context instead of we could just answer questions. Also, sometimes I do private investigation and paralegal. Wow, you are doing it all.
you're doing it all, right?
That's some hustling.
And I apologize, I can't see the blue for some reason. Like the
That's
blue, like
Sherry.
does it? Who is it?
Sherry.
Okay, so Sherry, while he's drawing that, like what he's drawing here is I would draw part of our model. I'm not sure if you've seen our model, but ultimately there's three things that you want to do to make sure that you are really covering the basis. So the first thing is to attract people to you. The second piece is the enrollment, and then this third piece is your personal power and capacity. So ultimately, to attract new people in, it's really about having a system and a process where your content, like you're very specific in. You mind if I just talk?
Yeah, go
Like,
for it.
okay, like I want to talk to what you're doing, but and I just have an answer. So, like if you know the person, like is there,
I'll
is it
just type
for
this out.
um, is it for feminine? Is it for masculine? Is it for everyone who's just going through a betrayal? I would definitely get into the world of what they're going through and really set yourself up through your content that you are a leader, you're an authority, you've gone through it in some way, or like I call it the unspoken truths. So what are the unspoken truths of these people that they're going through that when you talk to them and you speak, it's like you're speaking directly to their soul, right? Like before you ever go online, I would think about like Sarah was deeply betrayed. I would just name her like Sarah was deeply betrayed. You know, what she's going through is just this grief. She's having a hard time concentrating. She can't focus on where she needs to go anymore. Like really get in her world. And the more you can speak up on that, I would go to different two different ways. I found the easiest way to really attract and bring new people in are to go to other people's groups, not to like spam their groups whatsoever, but to go to groups like where are they online? I guess that's the question. Like, are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they searching? Are they on YouTube? Like searching for help? Like, where are the people that you want to reach? And I would hang out there. So I would go to groups. I would share my wisdom in some of these groups. I would comment on other people's posts. I would become friends with them. I would create, so when we have what Chad's typing out here, is an impact marketing system and then a movement, right? So creating a movement of healing for people who've been through the trenches of betrayal and breakups, right? Like what is something that you can create that is bigger than just like a Facebook group, but you're setting yourself up for like people hear your mission and they're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. How can I be a part of that? Right.
Yeah. So, Kiana asked, what's better to do workshops or retreats for healing? I feel like those are two like really wildly different things, right?
Definitely.
So it's like a retreat is something like I feel has a really high level intrinsic value, right? There's just like this, you're like getting away, you're like going and doing, you're you're doing this work, you're really showing up where workshops might be less investment. You're just kind of showing off some of the things, right? The path to strengthen your know, like, and trust is trusting yourself. Wait, start with know thyself, and outward connection and authenticity just naturally happens. I love that. Um, so so Jessica, what if you could get one thing from this call or this Q&A, what would be the one thing that would like move you forward and make a difference in your business? And everybody can kind of write that down or kind of just type it out.
Yeah. So I've been through so much from a young age. My healing journey to qualified therapist is so varied and wide, including finding my particular niche has been one of the hardest areas to fine tune. I believe I'm good at bringing attention to mindset awareness and restructuring, identifying the story we tell ourselves and creating a story and desired life and outcomes. So I love that. So Sherry, is there a question is in there? Is it
Finding a
finding
particular
your
niche.
person? So I know you've been to a couple of our trainings before where we talked about the perfect triangle. Could you talk about that? And Mama's got to be on Mama duty too.
Yep. All right. So, all right. So this is, I'm gonna just put this over here so we can kind of have everything on the same page. Two and
I'll go run down and get one real quick. Can we stay here?
boom.
Can you just stay here and
Usually it's a little bit more. I feel my biggest block is how to speak in email, social media, etc. That doesn't friend zone me. Ah, okay. So the rapport person doesn't want to get friend zoned. That makes sense. Um, yeah. So the biggest thing we'll talk about that. Let me do the perfect triangle real quick with the
I
niche.
gotta go be mom.
Okay. So looking at your niche, you want to look at all the people that you can make the biggest impact with. And you like write them all out. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna write out all the ones who I could make the biggest impact with. And then and the way you want to look at that is it's like, who's the easiest to get like a result for? Who's like the one that if they called you in the middle of the night and they're like, hey, uh, you know, challenging thing for them, but you're just like one sentence and then boom, they're like off to the races. They have a huge breakthrough. They get a huge result and it's like completely a big deal. So write all those down. The other way I like to look at it is if you want to narrow it down even more, and you don't have to go this way, but I like to because I'm out for the ripple effect. I'm just curious who's here out to make a ripple effect. You can look at the people that have like that do the, it's like, yes, mostly trying to hone in on a perfect niche. I have used your brain map. However, as you're aware, I'm just returning again an emotional. Yeah, I totally get it. Building on something that has never before with retreats is that you both just helped me with, and the mortgage and real estate. If someone needs the help with their credit, I can do theirs. Yeah, totally. Um, I'll drop a link, and if you want to book a call and you want support with all that, um, we can totally do that. Let me grab a two.
Apologies, I am back.
No worries. Thank you. Welcome back. Oh, there's the messenger.
What are you looking for?
The link to book a call. Just shared it, I swear.
You've sent me like a gazillion links.
Awesome. All right, 1 second. So the next thing with the perfect triangle is love, then narrowing it down, right? Narrowing down to the people that you love to work with. So imagine love right here. Love, boom.
Here, I got you.
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome. So we went to an event we sponsored. You probably have heard if you've gone to any of our trainings, is to do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. We got this from Steve Farber. We can't coin it as our own. But when we heard this quote, it like transformed everything for us, right? We could literally take all of this and we could work with affiliate marketers. We actually have mortgage people, real estate, like you name the niche, we could put this in here. We work with coaches because we freaking love, we're both a stand for transformation. Some words that I've heard ever since I was like in my young 20s, not to age me, is freedom, healing, and transformation. I'm a stand for transformation. I'm a stand for people. Like I work with coaches because I love coaches. I love what you're out for. I love that you're out to help other people. I love your hearts, right? I wake up every day and I love my business because I love the people that we work with. So when you love the people that you work with, like you're on fire for them, like that, like that's what you want, right? Like the impact and the profit, that's great. We could make the impact and profit with chiropractors and dentists, to be honest.
So yeah, so this is a narrowing, right? So you get with all the people that you can make the impact with, then then you narrow it with only the people that you love out of that group, and then you narrow it even further with the people that actually have the money to pay you top dollar, right? And or toppest dollar that your currently self-worth will allow you to handle. Because there's some people that we say that, work with people that have a ton, like have money to pay you. But if your current self-worth situation is not in a space where you can accept working with people that are ultra not high net worth individuals or C-suite or executives or expense like high level 7 or 8 figure coaches, then it's going to be very challenging to offer them coaching, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I would go with people that you resonate with.
I'm an emotion coach, inner well-being, and can help. Can help lots people experience grief, overwhelm, burnout.
It's totally, it can be a challenge to niche down. I 1,000,000% get it. And the reason why I say like I don't want to say easier is the word, but like you can be on the rooftop shouting like, "Hey, I'm an emotional coach. I can help you with your grief and your burnout and all the things. Your life is going to be freaking amazing." And everyone's going to be like, "Okay, thanks." And like keep walking. But if you can be really specific of like, "Hey, I'm just going to use moms and I don't know who your people like, hey mama, I know that it's mom entrepreneurs. We'll even get a little bit more niche. Like, hey mama, I know you're doing all of the things and you feel burnout and you just want to like blow up on your kids, but you know that that's not the way. I got you. I see you. I have some tools that I think would really bring a lot of value to you. Like you can whisper that and they'll be like, huh, you get me. Right. So that's really the power of like if you could narrow, like, who do you really love? Like, you love what they do in the world, what they're up to in the world. Like, you understand them. You can get into their world and speak to them because it goes back to those unspoken truths when people know that they're seen. Well, I mean, like when people feel like they're seen and they're heard and they're understood, like that's what you can create great content all day long, but it's all about that connection, right? And so to really have a connection with someone, you can speak their language. So that's what I would say about that. Because again, like we could work with all sorts of people. We could bring in affiliate marketers and network marketers, and like they're great people, but they're not a stand for the same thing that coaches are a stand for, which is why we work with coaches. So I would just kind of think of like, okay, well, who is that? And maybe it is a little bit broad. And as you start working with people, you start getting clear of like, that wasn't my favorite. I'm glad that they got results, and God bless you. I love you. Like the next one. And maybe as through time, through experience, you really get clear on who that person is, and that's totally okay too.
Yes.
So hopefully that was helpful.
Awesome. So let's do this. There is just Jessica had to ask a question around getting people the friend zone. They're getting the friend zone.
Yes. Don't we all love the friend zone? So let's talk about the friend zone for a minute. There are two. Oh, are you drawing something?
I am.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about it or?
Yeah, just keep on going.
Okay. So think of your content and your messaging as like a scale. Like we could draw a scale. One side is all like value, how to's, like problem awareness, authority posts, leadership, and the other side is like memes, sharing your like what's going on in your life, kind of attaching the posts that you're creating into like your own life and your experiences. And what happens is if you are too on either one of these sides of the scale, you're either going to be one, all she wants is sales. She just wants my money. She just wants to enroll me into a program and buy something. And you become too salesy.
Mm-hmm.
The other side is the friend zone. You're like, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring. I just love watching you. Like, I just love you.
Mhm.
You may even get great engagement. That's why, like, you could see people who have hundreds of thousands of followers and great engagement, and they don't have any sales because they have the likability, right? So there's nothing wrong with this side. And I've actually find myself a lot on this side too. I'm gonna be super authentic, is where I get to find the balance. So it's finding the, like, people want to see the personal stuff. They want the likability. They want to see your life and your thoughts and your values. That's what makes you a thought leader, is by sharing that stuff. So if you ever find where you're too in the friend zone, start putting in more authority type posts, problem awareness type posts, where people are saying like, okay, but she is an authority in her niche. And you get to really balance the, like, okay, if I'm oversharing and it feels salesy, put in some like personal behind the scenes. I love doing stories in this way. So like if you go to my stories, you see a lot more. So I'm in my sourdough baking everything from scratch era, and I share it on my stories. So like I just made homemade Pop-Tarts like from complete scratch. So these are like, people are getting to know me and connect with me, and they get my values. I'm walking in the woods. I've got my dogs. I've got Charlie. And then I'll throw in like something around business, or business and parenting, or something like for a coach. So it's just you want to balance the scales, so that not only do they get the likability, but they also see that you're an authority and you understand them, so that you have that know, like, and the trust. So a lot of times it can just be know and like, or like, okay, we get it, your stuff. Hopefully that's helpful for you.
Yeah, so essentially there's three types of coaches here. One is whoa, my God, just got moved over. I don't know if you guys.
Here,
Oh,
I got you.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the one coach, Holly was talking about, that's just dropping things on your head. Do you use gluten-free ideas with what your posts with your recipes?
I've been gluten-free for ages, but sourdough doesn't actually affect me, but yes.
So you have like drop your offer, drop your offer, drop your offer. And then you have these are like value, 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 quote, pretty picture, thing about your life, just value, value, value. And you're not doing any call to actions, you're not making any offers, you're not doing anything. And so the better way to do this is to be able to move people. Like you get like you basically a call to action sets yourself apart from somebody that is just value, value, value. And it's like you're moving towards something, right? So you're giving them some sort of value that helps them discover something. Then you're moving them in to some further value so that they discover something like, you know, something that's like, hey, this could actually help you like learn how to do this, right? Like this, if you look at where you're at right now, this Q&A is like a place. It's like you're now seeing our process. Maybe you've seen some sort of value from us out here or some sort of action that got you to come in here. Now you're in this Q&A. Now you're learning like a deeper level, like learning our story and how we do this. And like nobody cares about your story or what you like, how you help people until you've helped them, right? It's like most people are they're out to solve their problem, that your ideal client is out to solve a problem. And you need to solve their problem, but then you need to um, share your processes and how you do things in the process. So then you invite them to a call. So, I dropped the link earlier. So if you want to book a call, the call, as you noticed, is still in the value thing because you're helping them discover what is missing and what is stopping them from does an ebook help with having like a business couch? An ebook, I'll tell you this, we help most of our clients go to at least $10,000 a month, without any sort of tech, without any sort of like maybe using Zoom, using a calendar link, using a Facebook group, using events.
Just if you want something similar to a business card, I would say a Facebook group. You can set those up really strategically that when people go to a Facebook group, it can actually be even more valuable than a website or a ebook. Like honestly, and genuine question, how many ebooks have you read from all of the ones that you've downloaded for free?
Yeah.
So not a lot of people go through ebooks. You would think but they're so valuable. Like I know I've written them too. And I've just gotten so many, us personally, we've gotten so many and our clients working with a group that I would even go beyond just having a Facebook group, but being able to position it in a way that it's really a movement for people.
Boom. Movement. So this is, and then you make the offer. So it's like you've given the people a bunch of value. You've helped them discover something deeper. Like, Kiana said earlier was like, you helped me discover this thing, right? Where we helped her have a breakthrough about around retreats and like how that, whatever she discovered, right? That breakthrough needed to happen before she could really trust that we could help her further, right? And so you get to help your clients have those breakthroughs and help them discover whatever they need so that they can then either go implement on their own or hire you to support them, hold you accountable, give you the systems and really shortcut, keep you from having to throw the spaghetti at the wall and hope that you figure it all out. So Jessica, does this help? Is this clear, this process of bringing them through a process?
Yeah, that's helping. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions about any of this?
Yeah, actually, when you said Facebook group, make it a movement, can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so we had so Kiana, just so you know, if we book a call, this call is to see if it's a good fit for us to help you and support you. I won't be just answering questions and all that stuff, just to set that boundary. And then if it's a good fit, we'll schedule another call and really go deeper.
Would love to have it.
Yep.
Yeah. So a movement. So we worked with a client where she had a Facebook group for gut health and she couldn't freaking stand it. She looked at like Facebook groups to her were like, oh, something else I have to do. Nobody like Facebook groups don't work. I don't want a Facebook group. I don't want to have to do I don't want to. I don't like it. Right. So perfect. I got it. Who wants something else to do on their to-do list? We all have plenty to do. Right. So what we did is we repositioned her group to where it's not just a gut health group, but it's a space for women to live their best life so that they have the energy to be with their children, to keep up with all of the things they want to do with their families. And it can you feel the energy shift in that? Like it was a movement for mothers to be in their most vibrant health for their children. It was no longer a Facebook group. Like everything went out there was about the movement. So when you have a movement, if you think about the movement, Tesla just came to my mind. Tesla has created a movement of people who like they will buy a six-figure car 3 years before it ever comes out. Right? That's not because it's such a great car and people can't wait. It's because of the movement that they've created. They've created something that other people are see that and it's like a status, right? You own a Tesla, you drive a Tesla, like you are part of the status. So not that you're creating like a status for someone, but you are creating something that other people are enrolled in the idea and they want to follow and they want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Is that clear? Holly and I we invested $10,000 to go to a 3-day retreat, all to learn about movements and building your own movements. I'm sure we'll end up doing a program just around that at one point. Now it's really a part of what we do.
Totally be a program.
Mm-hmm.
So something to think about and just kind of be in the back of your mind, like, what is my mission? What is my mission? What am I out for people? And how can I position that in a way where other people see that that's something that they can step into as well? You want me to put you down? You're getting so big. You're getting so big.
So the next
All right.
is nervous system regulation. Do you want to talk about nervous system regulation?
Nervous system regulation is like a vital piece. I know I've been pulling out my tools today, all day today. So having your nervous system regulated, when it's not regulated, what can happen is that we get reactive. And when we're building a business and we're getting all of the things thrown at us, and if you're growing a family at the same time and you have business and clients and marketing and people who are rude on the internet and the life of lifing
Haters.
that will continue to life, no matter how successful that you get, you will always be lifing. But how you respond to it, how you can stay in your power through the things makes the biggest difference, right? So nervous system regulation, this includes, so we do a lot of breath work. We do, it's like, okay, we never say I'm getting upset or I'm stressed. I'm like, I need to go regulate my nervous system. That's the language that we use in our house. Today, I was like, again, I'm super real. I just need a minute. I need to go regulate my nervous system because I didn't want to get reactive to the people around me because I could feel just all of the things happening, right? So I say like with Chad too, like we believe that when you build a business in a holistic way that you don't burn yourself out. Like business doesn't need to be stressful. Like I have seen a lot of very high level people. I've worked alongside a lot of many high people. I know a lot of high level people where they talk about anxiety is just a part of life and it's normal for them. There's nothing normal about living and growing and scaling a business with anxiety all the time.
Yeah. So we had a client, it's like a success story and a not success story. We didn't have these skills at all or tools for our whole career. But like one of our first like really case studies and testimonials and results are not typical. This chick is
We're not promising anything.
She is not typical at all. What she did, she signed 6 clients for $33,000 each. And ended up signing $138,000 worth of clients. There was a couple in there, so the one that got a discount or something. And so and she was like crushing it, right? But now she had more money in like a month than she'd ever have in her life. She had 6 clients that are really kind of like high level, high delivery clients. I don't think we had the tools to help her with her delivery, to like leverage her delivery in a better way or systematize. Yeah, at that time we didn't have those tools to help her systematize that process in a better way. And we definitely didn't have the tools to help her regulate um, um,
Her nervous system.
her nervous system through the process and ended up getting sick.
Yeah. So. And it is amazing. You don't think everyone's like, I'd love to make 6-figure months and all of that, and like the first time you do it, like warning, if you haven't done it yet, there will be an emotional thing that you get to work through. Nothing surprises me. I've heard things from like, I just gave it all away to I got sick to like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just went away and I cried on the beach for hours. Right? Like, and you may think like, oh, that's crazy, but that is a whole level of something new that you get to wire in your nervous system that you're safe to have money, right? Every single part, every story that you've ever had in your life, every experience that you've ever worked through in your life, these stories are held within your nervous system. So we get to be really intentional, especially as we work in a business and we talk about, packaging your genius and what makes you unique. Well, this piece here is what makes us unique, right? A lot of business coaches, they're just like, go do the thing and like, get over it. Who cares? Like don't listen to your feelings. You're fine. Just go hustle and do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you understand how your nervous system works and the stories that it holds, it's not just about rewiring your subconscious, it's about working with your entire nervous system and rewiring your entire nervous system to new patterns, to be able to hold a lot of money, to be able to hold all the clients, to hold the success, right? You hear of fear of success all the time, and people don't realize, like, yeah, I wouldn't be, that is such an unconscious, like, no, I'm not afraid of success. Like, on a deep, deep level, I think most people are afraid to be fully in their power. And it's more than likely stored in the nervous system. So that's where nervous system regulation comes into play. And that's where you get to be really intentional. And we totally are intentional about rewiring the nervous system for success.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh, it is so important. Like, I could go on the nervous system regulation, and we're going to talk about the unstoppable equation here in just a bit, and the energetics of all of this. It matters, like, big time.
Yeah. So Jane, some tips on discovery calls is like you should never be talking more than the other person. The other person should be like an 80-20 thing where you're asking a question and then they're talking and then maybe you're just kind of reiterating that back to them. And then and just asking really quick questions that really help them discover the gap in between where they are and where they are. So a question that I like to ask, so Jane, so how much would you like to be doing on a monthly basis with your coaching business? And then the next question on that is that like, what are you doing now? So this determines that there is this is where she wants to be, and this is where you want to be. So, and then I like to ask the question where, what do you feel like is in the way of just going and doing it yourself, right? And it's like usually we're like aware on a certain level. But then there's always like usually like deeper stuff that we're not really aware of. Like it's all of the stuff over here that and when we get into the unstoppable equation, here we can just move it on over. Do you want to draw the unstoppable equation real quick?
I can do my best. All right, so the unstoppable equation, if I gave you guys a formula that allowed you to just be freaking unstoppable in everything that you do, would you be interested?
And everybody can answer this. I'd love to know everybody's thing. Like, what's your goal, your monthly income goal? What are you averaging now? And then what do you see that's in the way of just going and doing it yourself? Feel free to drop that in the chat, and then we'll kind of like role play, and you guys will learn some stuff.
I'm just over here writing algebra equations. What?
And we'll show you kind of how this weird algebra equation actually will help you discover. Is this being recorded? Yeah, totally.
So, yeah. It's also in our group Coaches for Transformation Collective and on my wall as well. Okay, so the unstoppable equation is this. So this U right here, this is whatever goal it is that you're out for, whether it's, I know we kind of have a delay, whether it be income, it could be health, it could be whatever the target is, something that you're working on. So now every single business coach will tell you, you need skills to be able to get this, right? Like I saw, I believe it was Sherry up here, like, give me, like, what's the tactics? What are the skills? So there's some skills that are required for you to be able to reach your goal, right? So what skills do you need to learn?
Awesome, Kiana. Saw you booked a call. Shoot me a message on Facebook so then we make sure we're connected.
Awesome.
So
let's go with,
Sherry would like to be at $30,000 a month. That's Aussie dollars. So I'm not sure what the conversion is, but we'll just go with
so getting solid with your beliefs. Awesome. So let's say this is 30K and just plug in whatever yours is in. And also I just want to like put the disclaimer out here. We have the unstoppable. We do not guarantee results. Like, we can share what's worked with us. Okay, just wanted to make sure that we put that in there. So skills, got to get the skills. Then you got to put in the work, right? We can create all the vision boards. We can energetically call it in. We can visualize. We can do all of the things, and energy is moved through action. So we get to take the action and do the work, And then we got to stay focused, right? So if we have the skills plus the work plus the focus, it sounds like we should be getting the results that we're out for. However, that is not always the case, correct? Yes. So there's a missing part of the equation that people don't talk about. And this is a conversation of allergies and addictions. So if you look at it's just say like you are in a field of flowers and you are allergic to bees. First off, you were going to say, I would not be in that field of flowers, right? So there are allergies of what you have in the world. It could be large amounts of money. It could be being seen. It could be a whole list of things. We don't necessarily even need to call them out.
Yeah.
But you're pushing away for whatever reason.
You're not
again,
showing
back to the
up.
nervous system.
You're not putting yourself out there.
So we hold these stories within the cells of our body throughout our nervous system, right? So for whatever reason, you are pushing away this, whatever this is. And everybody does this at every level. Billionaires, I don't care. You have allergies or addictions to something. If there's an allergy, there's also an addiction. An addiction is like the repeat pattern you find yourself. You ever see like, oh, this keeps happening. Why does this keep happening? Right? There is an addicted behavior somewhere, and this could be addicted to drama, addicted to working hard, addicted to stress, addicted to all of the things that keep happening that you don't, the results that are happening in your life that you don't really like, but yet they keep happening. Those are an addictive pattern within your nervous system. It's not right or wrong. It's just what is, right? So it goes back to this nervous system regulation. If we can clear the allergies and the addictions at a cellular level, as well as help you with the skills, you put in the work and you put in the focus, this is so much more likely to happen. So this is something that we work with our clients, is discovering the allergies and addictions, removing the allergies and addictions so that you can be absolutely unstoppable with what it is that you're out for. So this next piece up here, we're just going through.
Yep. Anybody, any questions around any of that?
I've never made that kind of money, up and down more times. So there's probably an allergy and addiction or some sort of story about what $30,000 means. Right. And again, there's no wrong or right or morality in this whatsoever. It's just something that you get to discover is like, what is it that you're pushing away around having $30,000? What does it mean to you? And what is happening? How are you showing up that you're seeing on a repeated basis, right? Or maybe you're not showing up, or you're not in your power, or there's all of the things happening around you where it just keeps happening. There's some sort of addictive pattern that keeps recurring there. So this next piece, and you can see how this all kind of rolls together, right? So we didn't name this as
capacity.
It's really capacity and performance.
Yeah. So really just getting yourself out of your own way.
Right.
That's really long, right?
So this next piece, this last piece here is the energetics. Like everything we do, everything is energy. Everything is energy, right? We know this. This isn't like a woo-y thing anymore. We're past the woo-y thing. It is scientifically proven that everything is energy. Your thoughts create energy, or are energy. Your thoughts and beliefs create your inner world, create your outer world. So being able to have the energetics, be able to stay in your power, hold your power, stay empowered through being able to state change when you need to state change, be able to increase your vibration and raise your vibration as you deal with, it's not about spiritual bypassing. I'm not for that whatsoever. It's actually, how can you go straight? Like the trigger is a transformation. So let's go to the trigger. Let's go like straight to it, transform. And then the energetics, you naturally raise your vibration because you haven't spiritually bypassed anything. You went straight to the freaking trigger and like, all right, we're going to address this. We're going to rewire our nervous system around this. We're going to clear the allergies and addictions, and we're going to raise the vibration so that we can go out there and be our most powerful self, no matter what, right? And hold the energy of it all. It matters.
Yep.
So being able to hold the energy, have the unstoppable equation, have the nervous system regulation, be able to enroll your clients into a True North program, have the empowered enrollment pathway of how do you get people to get into your program, how do you deliver your program so that you're delivering an exceptional experience for your clients, how are you attracting, I'm doing this backwards, but how are you attracting these people to you? You know, being able to get more visibility, being able to create a movement of people that is bigger than just you and your coaching, but having the thing that people just really step into, that mission, and ultimately creating the system that works through this is the key to be able to live out your calling, to have the freedom, to have the impact, to have the wealth. So Sherry, you asked like the tech stuff. I would keep this as absolutely simple as possible and don't even worry about the tech until you hit at least 5 figures, right? And that means getting really clear on your audience. I would work on the skill of being able to create content and being able to speak to your audience effectively to grow your audience more organically. Go to groups, start connecting with people. I think it's important for you to like actually go and talk to just knowing your situation and what you've worked through, like actually talking to other people in your power as a leader of being able to transform and use the pain and the experiences that you went through. That's what I love about coaches is coaches, we all have a story. We are all coaches because we went through something.
Yep.
Right. And you climb that mountain. And now it's about like, hey, I climbed this mountain. I got you. So now you get to go out there and connect with other people and show like you've climbed the mountain. And even if you haven't climbed to the top of your mountain, nobody has climbed to the very top of the mountain, right? There's still mountain to go. There's still mountain for Chad. There's still mountain for me. There's still mountain for you. But I can almost guarantee that there's someone lower on that mountain that needs your hand up. So you use that and you step into a leadership and you connect with people on a genuine level. And by having those conversations and connecting with people, you'll then get your messaging and what people really want and what you're really good at and what you want to do in the world a lot more effectively. Then you can worry about the tech and the funnels and the systems and all of that. That would be my pathway if I were you. If I were starting completely over, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Well, time to charge for your time, girlfriend.
Time to the bird gets knocked out of the nest.
That's right. All right, this has been incredible. I am so grateful that I took the time. I regulated my nervous system and we showed up here. So thank you guys so much. This has been incredible. Hopefully it was helpful for you
Kiana,
as
excited
well.
for our call. Anybody else want to jump on a call? Go ahead and book your call and yeah, there's going to be a large amount of people that are just there for freebies, right? And so you get to speak to the ones that are ready to have conversations and have conversations with the ones, and you get to have a lot of qualifying.
I love that.
Yes.
So I would also say that a lot of these groups, they're not meant to get clients from. They're actually meant to make connections with and bring them to your page where they're not like, you're not trying to enroll them right away, but as you add them as a friend and then you create content on your feed, they're like, oh, because they get to see why they would need to hire a coach in the divorce or betrayal. Like if they've been through that, like what is the benefit of having a coach through that versus going into a group and complaining about their life?
Yeah, and you got an extra hurdle just in the sense of if they've been betrayed, now you get to
have like extra trust to
handle that, build extra rapport of building that relationship because they've been betrayed. So it's like they have this wound. So you get to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So I would totally just start.
But if you want
like
oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. But kind of like you would approach a tiger because they're hurt, right? But like just start it slow rather than going straight into your coaching, become friends on my group or like come friends on your Facebook. Yeah. You may have an entire group for yourself where you can have workshops and training to really position yourself as a leader and authority and have that education of why having a support through this is going to be immeasurable for them. Like priceless, something that they definitely need to invest their money in. Yeah. And it's going to be worth it for them in the long run. And there's a return on investment somehow, whether it's through their heart, their health, their even if they are business owners, and divorce and betrayal will definitely affect your business. So whatever it is, they see that there's going to be a return on investment in some area of their life, and that this is something that they need to do to be able to have a healthy and prosperous life again. That's what you get to do.
You suggest probably for your niche, having your own personal um Facebook group is probably a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll say, so if anybody's like on the fence, they're like not sure, should I book a call? It, is he gonna ask? I'm not gonna ask for any money on this first call. It's really just about connecting and seeing if it's a line for us to help you. If you're like, I don't know if I can find the money or something, I will say this is like, if you're not getting the results that you really want, and you're like, oh, if I could get a couple clients, then I could hire somebody to help me get more clients. It becomes this like catch 22 of like, how am I going to get out of the hole that I'm currently in to then hire somebody to get help? And sometimes you have to break out of that, like,
It's like throwing a stick in the wheel.
yeah, that loop, and become resourceful, find the money outside of just getting clients, because it's, Holly and I have both invested tens of thousands of dollars before we were really making any money. And it was because, and we had to find the money. I sold my car, I sold a watch that I really cared about. I've,
I went from
borrowed money.
business to business locally asking if I could help them with anything from social media to cleaning their bathrooms. Like, no lie, that's what I did. So, on that, I just acknowledge you and your mission, what you're out for in the world. I appreciate you. I look forward to go ahead and book that call. I get to go be a mama tonight, and I love you, and we'll talk soon.
Click the link before we end it. Click the link. All right, bye.